there, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on my Color Wednesday blog post for July 20th, 2016, and we're going to be using an image from the CC Design stamp set called Celebrate. And we're actually going to use this one, see if I can get the shiny part off there, this cute little bear up here today, and I will try to do a video or a Color Wednesday post for each of these two cuties too. It's a cute stamp set. It's great for birthdays and stuff. Comes with 3 images and 3 sentiments. I will put a link down in the description box to the stamp set if you'd like to head over to the store and grab one. I would love for you to come shopping with me. So I've stamped my little bear on my Nina 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image, and for that I'm going to use C0, and I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to start down here at the bottom of his foot, and I'm going to go clear around my image and add an outline, and you can do this if you would like, or you can leave it off. I like to put it on there first so that in case I get some on my character I can erase it. And also it makes it look like a little bit more three-dimensional, like he's kind of popping up off of the page instead of so flat. So we'll just go quickly all the way around, and you can make your line as skinny or as fat as you want. I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going along and making a line all the way around. Let's go around the streamer. And I think I'll color this little dotty square in there so it doesn't look so off out here in the middle of nowhere. So all the way around, quick and easy. Next, let's do an alternate stripe on his hat and the Cupcake wrapper. For that, we're going to use BV 29, 25, 23, and 20. Let's start up here on his cute little hat, and I'm just going to pick one to start with. So how about this first one right here by his eye? So we're going to take our BV 29 and go across the top there and a little bit in the corner. And then for this one over here, we'll do a little bit down the side and then pull it a little bit up here onto his hat. And then there's a little bit here, there's an extra little small one stripe up here at the top. And then I'm going to add BV 25. So we're going to touch down on top of our BV 29 and bring some color right along that line. And up here we'll add a little dab up there. And then we're going to do BV 23. And again, we want to make sure to touch down on our last color. And I think I'll bring my color down here and all the way up. And then I'm going to fill this last little dot in up there on that one. And then I'm going to lastly add BV 20. And then I'm going to take my pen and go all the way across and blend all that together. And I think I'll do a little dab up here, even though I colored this one in. Then we're going to go down here and do the wrapper on the Cupcake. So again, I'm going to start with my BV 29, and I'm going to use the creases in the Cupcake wrapper as my guide. So I'm going to go right down each one of these little cute lines. And I'm going to try to keep my lines skinny. I don't want it to be too fat. So just the very tip of your marker. And then I'm going to do a line across the bottom by the plate. Then I'm going to add BV 25. And for this I'm going to go right along the bottom and add a little bit more on top of that line on the bottom of the Cupcake. And then I want to go down each one of these stripes and just widen it out. And if you don't use these colors very much, you might want to pop the other end of your marker off so that they don't make a big mess. I don't use these very much, and mine seem really wet. Okay, so now we're going to add BV 25. Again, we just want to go down each one of these little stripes. And I'm kind of making sure to touch the bottom stripe too. And then we'll fill it in with our BV 20. So next, let's do the alternate stripes on his hat and the little tassel. For that, we're going to use BGO 9, 7, 5, 1, and 000. I'm going to start with my BGO 9. And let's do the tassels first. So I'm going to do just a little bit down here at the bottom of each tassel. And then for his hat, let's go down the inside edge and then up to his eyebrow there. And then same for this one. Let's do the edge and just a little bit up in the corner. And then I'm going to take BGO 7. Extend that out past his eyebrow. Add a little bit over here. And then we want to add a little bit to each of these little tassels. Then I'll go with BGO 5. And then BGO 1. I've ran out of room up here, so I'm going ahead and fill that in. And let's see if we can add a little dab to each of these tassels. And then lastly, we'll add BG 000. Let's fill in this edge right here. And then I'm going to swipe it clear across. And even though I colored this one, I'm going to go ahead and swipe it on that one. And then fill in the rest of your tassels. Next, we're going to do his shirt and the frosting on the cupcake. For that, we're going to use BGO 7, 5, 1, and 000. So I'm going to start with my BGO 7, and let's do, he's got a little bit of his shirt right over here. So let's give that little corner a little dab. And then let's do right along his sleeve and next to the cupcake. And then I'm going to go underneath of his chin and down the back of his sleeve. And then we better do, there's a little bit of his shirt showing underneath of his sleeve, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a little dab of color. And then I'm going to add BGO 5. So I'm going to color this little dot in right over here. And then we want to soften this line, so I'm just going to go right along the edge, that color. I fill in this little spot there on the back of his shirt. And then we'll add BGO 1. Same thing, we're just going to soften those edges. So let's bring this over here. And I'm going to color in the underside of his shirt right there too. And then lastly, we'll fill it in with our BG 000. And I'm going to wipe it clear across, kind of smush all those colors together. And I think I'll add a little bit more BGO 1. It's not blending all the way, so I'm going to get my paper wet a little bit more with some more ink. And then I'll blend it again with our BG 000. Okay, and then let's go over here and do the frosting. So again, let's start with BGO 7. And I'm going to do underneath this cherry. And then let's do along the bottom of each one of these little bumps on the frosting. Don't know what to call those. So let's do a little bit right here too. And then we'll add BGO 5. I just want to go along the edge of this color. And then let's soften this one. And then we'll add BGO 1. little bit in here, soften that a little bit more, and then we'll go over it with our BG 000. And I'm going to go over the entire area and kind of swirl it around. Let's also, I forgot, he's got a little bit of frosting right here that he's eating, or cake, so I'm going to go ahead and make it frosting that he's dropping. I'm going to do BG 05. And a little dab right here. And then I'm going to fill it in with my BG 01. And then there's also some confetti down here, so I'm going to take my BG 01 and just pick a couple to fill in. For the cherry, let's do R39, 27, 25, and then for the little stem, I'm going to use G82. And let's go ahead and do the little stem first, since I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just going to color it in. And then we'll add, to the cherry, we'll add R39. And I'm going to do a little dab up here in this crease. And then I'm going to add R27. And then we'll fill it in with our R35. Then let's also go over here, and while we have the reds out, we'll do this little streamer. So for that, we're going to use R39, 27, and 35. I'm going to start with my R39. Let's do a little dab in here. And here it looks like it's folding, so we'll do a little dab in there. And here's a fold. And here it goes behind. And then we'll do a little bit on each end of this side. And then we'll add R27. Trying to be super careful so I don't color anything else. Me and red. We're not friends. And then R35. And then I'm going to take my R27 and I'm going to color in a couple of these little pieces of confetti down here. Color in what's left anyway. Next, let's do his little tongue. For that, we're going to use R32 and 30. I'm going to start with R32. I'm going to do right along where it's touching his bottom, or his lip, and then do a little slash up the center. And then I'm going to take R30 and fill in the rest. And then I'm going to darken that R32 back up. So let's do R32 and then a little bit up the center. So for the cupcake, actual cupcake here, and the bear, we're going to use E47, 44, 43, 42, and 41. And let's start with the cake over here with E47. And I'm going to go right along where he's taken a bite. And then along the edge of my wrapper. I color that last one in, it's pretty dinky. And then we'll add E44. Add a little dab on top of this line. And then we'll add some to each of these sections. And I'm going to fill this one in. And I'm going to bring this down underneath that frosting. And then I'm going to go with E43. I'm going to fill in the rest back here. And then E42 to fill it the rest of the way in. again, for our bear, let's start down here on his leg with E47. So I'm going to take my E47 and I'm going to go right underneath of his belly. I'm going to extend this line out here. And then I'm going to come around over here. And I'm going to go up to this first little hair that's poking down. And then I'm going to add E44. I'm going to go across this line. Then we're going to brush this out a little bit more. And then E43. And then E42. And then for his little toes there, I'm going to use E41. And we'll go over here and we'll do his other leg. So again, I'm going to start with my E47. And let's do down the middle. And then over here to where he's got the little tuft of hair out. And then over here, let's do right along here. We're going to give a little crease there in his foot. I think I'll bring this around just a little bit more. And then over here, we're going to go underneath of his shirt and down his belly. Yeah, I better bring this out a little bit more even. And then we're going to go down his fanny. And I'm going to color a little dab back here on his tail. And then I'm going to add E44. So let's add a little dab to his tail. And then I just want to soften all these lines. So I'm just going to go down each one. And we'll do E43. Let's add another little dab to his tail. I'm going to color in this top part here. And then we'll add a little bit down here to his foot. And then I want to fill it in with my E42. Okay, let's do his arm. So again, let's start with E47. And I'm going to go right next to the sleeve of his shirt. And then we're going to go along the bottom of his arm. And I'll give him a little wrist right there. And then we'll add E44. And then E43. And then we'll fill it in with E42. And then let's hop up here and we will do his face. So let's start over here on this far ear with E47. Let's do a little dab right here in the crease. And we'll add E44. And E43. And then E42. Now let's go over here and do the other ear. So again, we're going to start with our E47. And I'm going to use this one right along this little line on his ear. And then I'm going to bring this down the side of his face. And let's go over here to his shirt. How about right here? Let's give him a little dab up here underneath of his hat. This little spot right there. Here. And then above his nose, I'm going to do a little dab up here. And then his neck. I'm going to bring this line out here just a little bit more. And maybe I better do a little bit in here where his cheeks are. And there's just a little spot right up here. Now we're going to add E44. So let's do that right along this line. Then we're going to bring it right around here. And then we want to soften each of these lines. So I'm going to go in towards the inside of his face on these lines. Same over here. And we're going to do up here and above his nose. Well, we better do a little bit over here. Then we're going to add E43. Bring this in. Go ahead and go right around that frosting. And then he's got a little bit over here in his eyes. Let's do this. And maybe a little dab right here. And then I'm going to go with E42. So let's go ahead and color this little spot in his ear. And then we're going to brush this up here. And then I'm going to fill the rest in with E41. Okay, then let's do his inside of his ears. So for the inside of his ears, we're going to do E42. And then we'll fill in the rest with our E41. Let's go up here and do this ear. So again, let's grab E42. Careful going around that red. And then fill it in with your E41. And then his little eyes. So again, go with your E41 or E42. Let's do a little bit. And then fill that in with E42, E41. Can't get my colors straight. I'm going to miss a little bit on the edge here. Let's fill that in. Then we'll go down here and we'll do his little tummy. So again, grab your E42. And let's brush right along the edge, and let's do underneath of his arm. And then swipe over it with your E41. And that leaves us with his little nose. So for his nose, let's do E47. And I'm going to outline it. So I'm going to go right along the edge, the top, and just make an outline all on the inside. And then we're going to add a dab of E44. And then we'll fill it in with E43. And down here, I forgot to do his little toes, so let's grab E41 and fill those in. That leaves us with the plate and the ground. For that, we're going to use W3, 1, and 00. I'm going to start with my W3 up here on the plate. And I'm just going to do a small outline, or a small line right underneath of my cupcake. And then I'm going to soften that with W1. And then I'm going to fill it in with my W00. And then let's give him something to stand on. So again, I'm going to grab W3. And let's go up a little bit past his foot. So we're going to brush around his foot. Let's go around some of this confetti too. And over here, let's see, go across. Try to keep it kind of straight. And then we're going to add W1. I like to just brush over the entire thing and soften it. Got a few lines in there, so this will take care of that. And then I'm going to go with W00 even more further out to soften it. And then I like to go back with my darkest color, which was W3, and just add a little bit more of that dark back in. So there is our adorable CC Design Celebration Bear all colored up. Didn't he turn out cute? If you would like to see the finished card, head over to the store blog for the blog post of July 23rd, 2016. If you have a question, make sure to leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Otherwise, I hope you had fun coloring with me today, and we will see you next time. Bye!